All right, folks. Welcome to the Non-Negotiables podcast. Some of you might recognize me as On the Mark. Sadly, just in time for the election, YouTube shut down the On the Mark channel based on a claim that I was bullying John Podesta. Yes, that very John Podesta, the powerhouse of politics on the left. With my very first video on this channel, or on that channel rather, where I analyzed his art collection. An art collection that includes half-naked children and all kinds of horrible stuff, women eating what looks like livers and some other disgusting stuff. And so I made a video with all of the art, and they took it down and gave me a strike and said I can't live stream for a week. So I have this channel cooking for a while, and I decided I gotta come on and vent a little bit. Nobody's subscribed to this channel, so most of you will be seeing it while it's not live once I tweet it out. But I didn't have the will to tweet it and to ask for help in distributing it. I don't know if I need a conversation right now or if I just need to vent. But by all measures, and the way things look right now, dear leader is going to lose in the 2020 election. Damn. You think about it, he's going to lose by the slimmest of margins. Just the tiniest little squeaker. After 4 years of the media trashing him, of Congress impeaching him, of everything he does being labeled as bad and racist. 4 years of total media silence on anything that could go against the Democrats. At the same time, trashing Trump at every level with everything that they had. The last 4 weeks, not a single mention of Biden's ties to China. The fact that Russia actually paid him $3.5 million. And still, they have to cheat and steal and put their thumb on the scale to get this vote and get Biden in office. So I guess, if you wanted to be a bright side kind of guy, I guess that's a bright side, right? Excuse me, I'm grilling at the same time that I'm talking to you guys. You're the kind of guy that needs to find the bright side in things. I go to little Ben Shapiro. Spent the entire hour of his show today talking about how this is actually quite the victory for Republicans. Quite the victory. If you're like that, then I guess, yeah, you can call it some sort of moral victory. You could say that the American people have thrown the identity politics and the Russia nonsense and all that back into the faces of the Democrats. But see, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they're not going to see it that way. It doesn't matter because what's the point in winning even a moral victory if the opponent doesn't see it, doesn't recognize it, and doesn't care about what it means. Because make no mistake, Biden will squeak out the smallest of victories, but they will treat this as a resounding mandate. Already, Biden is out there going, "Oh, we won Wisconsin by the same margin that Trump won Wisconsin," showing that the people are behind us. No, they're not. The over 80 million universal ballots are behind you. The people receiving 5 and 6 ballots at their homes addressed to the people, the last 5 residents of that home are behind you. And I know that there are a lot of people out there right now, a lot of Trump supporters out there right now, and they are hooting and hollering about how Trump is going to sue, and they're going to push to win this election. And I think Joey Salads was out there talking about how this is a blessing in disguise because, well, we're going to be able to expose the deep state even faster. I'm a realist. I think all of us have said at least once throughout this entire process that the only way the deep state allows Trump to win is if this is an uncontestable blowout. What you got to realize is that the only way Biden gets as many votes as he got, and I'm not talking about the fake ones, I'm talking about the real ones, which he got tens of millions of. The only way he gets that many votes is if the electorate is absolutely blind to all things political. If the electorate sees CNN and ABC and NBC News and all these things as the end-all be-all of news, and clearly they do. So what do you think happens next? How many of those news channels do you think will all of a sudden gain scruples and decide, you know what, let's talk about Biden all of a sudden getting 100,000 votes in a matter of seconds? Let's talk about how, from nowhere, Biden found himself closing in margins, even though the poll was closed and the counters were supposedly going home for the night. And yet, somehow, in Michigan, they pull 138,000 votes out of their keisters, and 100% of them go to Biden. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a nihilist. I'm not a negative person. I know that the self-assigned title of realist is often a nihilist's way of shielding himself from criticism. But you gotta be realistic here, folks. The media will claim Biden won. And even if Republicans found a spine and decided they're going to protest and do something to fight back against this injustice, we won't have the people with us. The media will tell those 50 or 60 million people who have no idea what's going on in America today that everybody on the street is a far-right extremist. Trump takes this thing to the Supreme Court. Well, Trump is trying to subvert the will of the people. That's what they'll say. And that's what they'll believe. See, I happen to know some folks that come from socialist countries. My mother was born in Cuba, along with all of her family. And happened to be friendly with very nice Venezuelan guys. So rather than piss in the wind and try to convince myself that somehow the media will find its scruples and the justice system will call cheating when they actually see it, I think it's time that we make plans. Make plans for living in what's clearly coming, which is a far left administration. Now, I thank God that we still hold on to the Senate. And, we'll have the Senate for at least a couple of years. So we'll be able to stave off a lot of what's coming. But you see, the media proved that they can turn the election. They proved that they could subvert truth and they can lie about what's going on enough to sway elections. So in those 2 years, every time the Republicans try to stop the Democrats and Biden, they're just going to keep pumping out lies. I guarantee you Mitch McConnell at some point will be accused of something. So at least for me, this is what we're going to have to deal with. I'm going to take my Venezuelan friend's advice. He told me, socialism is cancer. It's poison. It destroys a nation. But in the first 10 years of a socialist regime, kings are made. Kings are created in that time. The money, just the flood of cash that goes from the government coffers into supporting the oppressed it's uncountable. And if you decide that, you know what, okay, I can't beat them, I'll join them, well then you too can be made a king in this vast cornucopia of government welfare. So now I'm looking out for me. Sure did a lot of talking and teaching and educating. I sure did reach out to a lot of people, trying to get them to understand how important this election was. They didn't listen. Well, that's fine. Now I'm going to worry about myself, my wife, my 5 kids. I'm going to score and hoard every dollar I can from this retarded new government that's coming. And I'm going to buy me that house. I'm going to buy me those acreages. I'm going to plant me my beans. I'm going to set myself and my family up. And if she burns, she burns. That's it. I recommend you do the same. Or we can revolt. But you're not gonna. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna lie to myself and act like I am. I'm pissed. but I'm not quite desperate enough. And that, my friends, is a revolution. When you rather be dead than living in the conditions you're living, that is a revolution. We're not there yet. Look, I'm grilling meat in November. It's a brisk 70 degrees outside. Got about 20 extra pounds around my belly. I can go weeks without food, but I'm not going to have to. Not there yet. We'll be there. Things keep going the way they're going. We'll be there. The question is, will you set yourself up in such a way that when we get there, it won't matter? So the things that are coming down the pipe, well, Biden has made it clear he's going to make it illegal to purchase ammunition on the internet, as well as guns and gun accessories. Are you armed? Are you ready? Do you have all the weaponry you're going to need for the battles to come? And I talked to a lot of people over the course of the last few months, and I warned them of what the costs are of electing Biden and Kamala. And over again, they said, America, communist, never. Well, I can tell you I don't believe that. I think America could very easily go communist. America has proven that at least half of the electorate within her borders are completely inept, uneducated, know nothing of politics. Anyways, hate to be such a downer, but if there is a bright side to all of this, heed my words. Prepare yourself. Milk this ridiculous funnel of money that's about to come down for these pointless, useless, and ineffective programs. Purchase land, homes, set yourself up so that at least you can watch it burn from afar rather than from your front door. Welcome to Brave New World, people. I wish you all lots of luck. This has been the